I remember people made the comment about second wives coming in, that they can't get their own man, or they don't have respect for themselves, so they're okay with being a second wife. That's not the case, because the thing is, they're still a wife. A wife is a wife is a wife. They don't become second fiddle. They don't come in under anybody else. Just the timeline is different. Assalamu alaikum, peace. It's your Coach Nyla, one of the co-founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as co-author of the book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored. And on this channel, we give tips and ideas and anecdotes and all that other good stuff when it comes to having outstanding relationships, whether you are practicing monogamy or polygyny. We do a heavy emphasis on polygyny because it doesn't get as fair airplay, nor does it get a lot of information on how to do it correctly. So if this is what you are looking for, if this is a channel that you feel that's going to help you out and you want to know more about it, make sure you click that like button, hit the bell so you do not miss any of our uploads that we'll be having continuously. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and all that other good stuff. It helps with the algorithm. And without further ado, let's get started. So I had to do this video because I've gotten a couple emails. Not only have I gotten a couple emails, I've seen some different responses, not only responses, but also comments about women who are not yet wives. And this is in polygyny. I've also seen some and dealt with some clients who are not in polygyny, that were of the girlfriend status, but they expected more from the guy than a girlfriend should have. And let me give you an idea. Okay, so one person had the idea that, okay, I'm okay with polygyny. The guy told her that he wanted to practice polygyny. What he would like for it to be, as far as ideally, that both women be friends. Both of his wives be friends. So that was understandable. That was fine with her. However, years later, as they were still boyfriend-girlfriend status, he married someone else. And now she's still the girlfriend. However, the wife gets a lot of privilege that the girlfriend, who was with him longer, no longer gets. And when it comes down to it, we have to ask ourselves, is that okay? And usually it's not okay. It's not okay when we don't feel there's fairness involved. Another thing is, if we've been with someone a particular amount of time, it's like, okay, how do you marry this person before you marry me? And you met this person after me. And I'm sitting here wondering, and I can't even get the same treatment that this person gets, meaning that you will leave the room when you're talking with her. You will give her the privacy. Whenever she calls, you're talking to her. But when I call you and you're around her, I don't get that same treatment. You don't call me back, or you don't pick up the phone, or I just don't get that same respect, or I don't get that same treatment. So usually people think that, okay, well, it's just a title. It's not just a title. Wife is not just a title. Wife is a privilege. And whether people want to look at it as a privilege or not, it's a privilege that we work for, yes, as wives. However, it's still a privilege. There are things that wives can do that girlfriends cannot. And I don't condone the whole girlfriend-boyfriend thing. I'm Muslim. I believe in marriage. And that's the thing. I wasn't always Muslim, so I understand the whole girlfriend, boyfriend thing. And I remember telling my little sister, one of my little sisters, actually, I probably told them all, but I told them that girlfriend, boyfriend thing. And I said, it's just like that girlfriend, boyfriend thing ain't it. I know what that feels like. I went through those type of things. You do not get the respect and the privilege that you would normally get if you are a wife, if you are committed in that relationship. And people can say, well, you know, some people are girlfriend, boyfriends, and they're young and they're too young to get married and these different things like that. I feel as though if you play grown and you are not ready for the grown stuff to happen to you, then you're not ready for that type of relationship. You know, you're not ready for that. And you shouldn't play around with that. And I don't care what age you are. I don't care. It's people that are in their 20s that are not ready for that. So if you're not emotionally mature, if you're not emotionally ready for the things that can come from having a intimate relationship with someone, then there's things that you must do in order to prepare yourself. You should not embark on those type of relationships until you are prepared, because every heartache, every heartbreak, every betrayal, mistrust, anything like that is going to affect you and infect you down the line. And if you don't correct those things, it can bleed into other relationships that you may have. So being very careful with that. I told my sisters that they're not Muslim. I probably told them that even before I became Muslim, because I know what heartache looks like. I know what it feels like when a person cheats on you. I know what it feels like when a person is lying to you. I know what it feels like when a person pretends that they're one way and end up being another way. And when you're not emotionally prepared for that, or you're not emotionally mature to deal with that, it's going to infect a lot of the relationships that you will have later on down the line. I'm speaking from experience as well as from, just experiences of others that I had to walk them through this type of process. So yes, that will hurt when you were with someone for some amount of time and you had the agreement that, yeah, I agree that I would love to be friends with, your other wife, we get married or you get married or whatever the case may be, even if to the point where you can say, I'm okay with being a second wife, that part doesn't even bother me that you married her first. The problem is that now that you've married her, I don't get this treatment like I used to get, not only do I not get this treatment that I used to get, but I don't even get the treatment of a wife, because now she gets all this other privilege and I don't. That's because being a wife is a privilege. It's a commitment. It's that this person is expected that this person gets a specific level of respect because now they went the extra mile for this commitment. And if you are not that wife, and that goes even for incoming wives, that the husband is promising that this is what it's going to look like after they get married, and they still haven't got married, but he's telling her to hold on and wait a minute. I'm just trying to make sure my wife is okay with this, and that, I got to clear up some things, but don't go anywhere. Just be patient with me, but you still don't have wife status. You can't not seriously, actually, legally or anything, demand these specific rights because you are not the wife. If you're in polygyny, yeah, there's no two marriage contracts. Sometimes in polygyny, there's not, two marriage certificates, not contracts, two marriage certificates. You're not going to have those, because then that is the part where it's illegal, where it's that bigamy type of thing. However, in religious ceremonies or these the legalese type of thing, where it's a court paper or a marriage certificate or anything like that, and is more of a spiritual, religious, or something like that type of union, and that type of marriage went through, you do have contracts that you can abide by, where the husband has a contract with this wife, a husband has a contract with that wife. If he has more than two, then he has a contract with that wife and a contract with the other. So those are still binding contracts. It's not marriage certificates. They're binding contracts, things that this person has rights over, So wives have rights. They can enforce their rights. Girlfriends cannot. They can say what they want to say. They can fuss and complain, and they can do all those different things. But that doesn't mean that that is going to be looked at as valid. Just look at it as that. That's the same thing where how monogamy was pushed so heavily, and why monogamy is pushed so heavily, because a man can have this one legal wife, or he can have this, his wife that's on paper and everything like that, and he can have all these girlfriends, the side chicks, side piece, whatever you want to call them. He can have them, and he can have these children, and he can do all these other things like that, and illegitimate. He don't really have to take care of them. He don't have to take care of this woman. He doesn't have to take care of this. But this wife right here that's on paper, that has a certificate for, and all this other stuff like that, that's who he has to take care of. That's who he's responsible for. When it comes down to it, what do you get out of it? Just being a girlfriend. But playing the waiting game, taking your time, trying to figure out what's going to happen, what's your next move, what's his next move, anything like that. And he could do whatever it is that he want to do, and you have no say over it. You do not get the same privilege as a wife. So if that's okay with you, then you have to ask yourself, is that okay? And why am I settling for less than? Why am I okay with a person who is not going to give me the honor of being a wife, will not give me the honor of allowing me to be known? Because usually if this person has a wife and he has a side chick or a girlfriend on the side or whatever the case may be, she's not known about. She's in the shadows. Are you okay with not increasing the family? Are you okay with not having children with this person? Are you okay with, not being respected and known as a person that this person is with? Are you okay with just being used whenever this person has time for you? That's the things we have to ask ourselves. I remember people made the comment about second wives coming in, that they can't get their own man, or they don't have respect for themselves, so they're okay with being a second wife. That's not the case, because the thing is, they're still a wife. A wife is a wife is a wife. They don't become second fiddle. They don't come in under anybody else. Just the timeline is different. They still get the respect, or they're supposed to get the respect, the honor, the rights as any other wife. So it's a lot different than someone being a side chick or a girlfriend than they are being a wife. So when you're thinking about it, and if you're thinking about being with a man who's already married, make sure you're his wife and not his girlfriend or side chick, because you get the honor and the respect because it's due to you as a wife. If he is not the one for the job, if he has an issue at the beginning with that, then that should be a red flag already. And you should care for yourself enough to know that you do not want to be someone's plaything, that you don't want to be someone else's placeholder, that I'm just here until something better comes along and then he's going to toss me to the side, or he's going to mistreat me, or he's going to act like I didn't exist. You're much better than that. So these quote unquote modern women out here, if you needed to hear this, if you didn't want to hear it or whatever the case may be. I'm here and I'm speaking the truth to those who want to hear it, who want to be held accountable and say, you know what, I'm better than that. And I may fake the funk all I want to say I don't want to be married, or I don't want to be put on the level as a wife, or I don't want all to have to do all this work. When it's all said and done, you're okay with doing the work for what it makes of you and what you get out of it. And you're okay with doing the work because this is a person that you want to be with and that you want them to want to be with you as well. So hope you guys got some good information from this video, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe, comment. What do you feel about that? The girlfriend versus wife thing. I know some people say, well, you know, the girlfriend has more fun and things like that, but I'm speaking as a wife that I have a lot of fun with my husband. So I don't have to be a girlfriend to do that. I think it's definitely the meaning that we put on things. And, you know, with that whole ball and chain and that old crazy stuff that they think that just because you're a wife, you got to be a prude and boring. And he wants to go out and have more fun, so he'll go get a side piece or whatever the case may be. So I think that's a weird thought to have, but people do have those thoughts and they think that way. But you guys let me know in the comments, what do you think about that? And about that whole, where it's the modern type way where forget getting married. I don't need to get married because, you know, I can just do me and everything is all good. You know, we'll have another conversation about that too. In another video about the single, you know, happily single life versus the happily married life. So if you guys want to hear more about that, definitely hit that like button, put a thumbs up, and let us know in the comments. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Make sure you're growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every single day. And I will see you in the next one. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
We are also the authors of the new ebook, The Polygamy Roadmap. 2 different roadmaps, one specifically for men and the other
for women.
Naturally. So no matter where somebody is in their journey, whether they're considering it and what's required, especially men I'm talking to, I share the 5 requisites on really what it takes to build a healthy, successful polygynous family unit. So with that being said, make sure if you're a man and if you're serious, not just curious, you take action and get it today.
And in the women's polygamy roadmap, we talk about the different feelings that women might go through with emotions of fear, challenge, betrayal, jealousy.
Yes, and we give you some good insight as well as tips, anecdotes, as well as some of our stories of struggle in the polygamy roadmap too for women. And you will find out really how to have a type of confidence in yourself after reading this. I'm truly, truly in the mindset that you would anyway.
Indeed. So do what you got to do. And that means go to polygamyroadmap.com, grab your copy. We look forward to you benefiting from it and joining us in our private community. With that being said, Assalamu alaikum.
Peace.